He's on.
Thank you. I'd like to start out by thanking the village of North Hudson and the Pepperfest for letting me represent them as their king. And I'll say a lot more in my final speech. You have to wait.
I have a script.
I'd like to introduce...
Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out.
Check it out. I'd like to introduce the rest of my court. First is Princess Amber Jackson. Princess Andrea Johnson. Princess Michelle Nelson. And Queen Allison Palenti.
Back up here and just see.
Now the moment you've been waiting for. The new king. And I don't even know, so. The 1997 North Pepper Festival king was born and raised in North Hudson. He graduated from Hudson High School in 1986. That means I graduated with him. He has been involved in various parts of Pepper Festival activities and committees for over 10 years. He is a current member of the Hudson area JCs. He has worked with his father in the family business for 10 years. And he has a part-time career in law enforcement. May I present you to the 1997 North Hudson Pepper Festival king. It's taped. Oh, wow. Dan Barber. Danny. This is the guy that I hung out with him a lot in high school. He taught me how to smoke cigars.
Hey!
We used to go to movies together and smoke cigars at movies, and then we'd hang our clothes out the window outside of the car so they'd air out before our moms would smell the smoke. But he started it all.
It was my car. Well.
Okay, just hold it.
We'll just put this back.
Here, hold on. Well, Dan, with his robe and scepter, you shall go forth and reign supreme over the village of North Hudson as its monarch of hot peppers and great Italian food. May your year be filled with excitement and fun.
I do? What's anything with that? Is that it? Am I falling apart? Well, thank you. I guess first of all, I'd like to thank the Pepper Festival Committee and Board for nominating me and choosing me to represent the community. Secondly, I'd like to thank my wife for not understanding exactly what she's got herself into. I think she'll understand it in about a year. As many of you may know, our community tragically lost two young girls last month, Melissa Briard and Vicki Collins. Vicki Collins was a Queen candidate this year. Today, our candidates and royalty are wearing angel pins in their memory. The 1997 royalty will be wearing these pins throughout their reign to keep her in their hearts and minds. Thank you.
And now we're going to begin with the Queen candidates. Just let the present court leave the scene. Yeah, in a row.
Okay, our first candidate, Sharon Zantera. Sharon's school activities have been manager of the sophomore volleyball team and a member of the JV soccer team. They said this wouldn't happen. Hope you're still awake. Her civic duties have been at the volunteer at the VIP Center, a soccer coach, and then she went on a mission trip to Kentucky with the St. Pat's Church. Sharon works at the Freedom gas station, but has also done child care and assembly work at the Star Observer. Soccer, going to the YMCA, reading, painting, and playing the piano are some of Sharon's hobbies and interests. Sharon plans on attending college and becoming a forensic psychologist at the FBI unit in Quantico, Virginia.
Hi, my name is Sharon Zantera. My parents are Bob and Bev, and I'm sponsored by Hudson Star Observer.
The next candidate is Tony Trainer. Tony is in the Hudson High School. She works part-time at Kmart in Hudson. Her interests are singing, swimming, and snowmobiling. Tony likes to take pictures and be with her friends and have fun. Tony plans on becoming a registered nurse and would also like to become a photographer.
Hi, my name is Tony Trainer. My parents are Tony and Bernice Trainer. I'm sponsored by Super 8 Motel of Hudson.
Next up, we have Stacy Haraldson. JV tennis, basketball, and varsity cheerleader for hockey and soccer are some of the activities that Stacy participates in high school. She works part-time at McDonald's, and she also enjoys playing tennis, basketball, swimming, and golf, and enjoys reading in her spare time. Stacy plans on attending college to become a lawyer.
Hi, my name is Stacy Haraldson. My parents are Thomas and Sherry Haraldson, and I'm sponsored by Bank St. Croix.
Our next candidate is Emily Hutton. Playing softball, cheerleading for the football team, and playing defense and right wing with the girls hockey team are some of Emily's school activities, along with playing the flute in the wind ensemble and doing flags and rifle in the marching band. She's also involved in a group called STAN that helps students avoid problems with drugs and alcohol. Emily works part-time at Herberger's and has tutored students for 2 years. She also babysits for children in the neighborhood. Her interests are playing flute, listening to music, golf, swimming, skiing, traveling with the family, and spending time with her friends. Emily would like to attend college, but is undecided, possibly maybe a business major or teaching.
Hi, my name is Emily Hutton. My parents are Mike and Terry, and I'm sponsored by Riverview Dental Clinic.
Next, we have Andrea Leverty. Andrea participates in softball, singing and acting in the choir, going to the YMCA, and attending youth group activities at her church. She's currently working as a hostess at Shoney's restaurant and also babysits in the summer. Her interests are playing softball, volleyball, water skiing, downhill skiing, snowmobiling, and listening to country music and going to the country music concerts. Andrea plans on attending college and working her way through. Her major at this time is undecided.
Hi, my name is Andrea Leverty. My parents are Pat and Marilyn, and I'm sponsored by Players Sports Bar and Grill.
Our next candidate is Jenny Newberger. Jenny participates in the varsity swim team in Hudson High and was awarded Teen Volunteer of the Year at St. Croix Valley YMCA. Her work includes babysitting, YMCA Youth Computer Advisor, and YMCA Nursery and Kids Link
care provider. Jenny's interests are swimming and childhood development. She plans on becoming an elementary teacher, an emergency medical technician, and traveling.
Hi, my name is Jenny Newberger. My parents are Brian and Sandra Greff and Tom and Jan Newberger, and I'm proudly sponsored by More4.
Next up, we have Kimberly Tritt. Kimberly is a member of the Hudson High School girls swim team and has done volunteer work at the Christian Community Home, as well as other local food drives and the Crossroads program in Minneapolis. She has a summer job at an insurance agency in West St. Paul. Kimberly enjoys sailing, reading, hiking, and scuba diving, and she has also played the piano for 8 years. After high school, Kimberly plans on attending college to become a stockbroker.
Hi, my name is Kim Tritt. My parents are Jason and Jeannie Tritt, and I'm sponsored by Gagnon Incorporated.
Our next candidate is Lisa Walschmidt. Lisa is the Hudson High School volleyball team and is also in the Junior Olympic volleyball program in Burnsville during the winter months. She helps out at the St. Croix Valley Carpentry by answering phones, cleaning, ground maintenance, and pickup and delivery of materials. She also babysits. Some of Lisa's interests are playing volleyball, softball, rollerblading, water skiing, basketball, swimming, snowmobiling, and racquetball. She also likes to spend time with her friends and cook. Lisa plans on graduating from high school early and working for a while, then going back to school to become a fashion designer or an interior designer.
Hi, my name is Lisa Walschmidt. My parents are Richard and Margaret Walschmidt. I'm sponsored by St. Croix Valley Cabinetry.
Please give a warm welcome for Dana Peach. Dana is on the golf team in high school and is a high school band. She's also a bowling league and plays softball in the summer. She works part-time at the county market as a cashier and in the customer service area. Bowling, volleyball, playing trumpet, and piano are some of the things that Dana likes to do in her free time. Dana would like to attend the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire to major in music to become a music teacher.
Hi, my name is Dana Peach. My parents are Norman and Sharon, and I am sponsored by County Market.
Next is Christine Jones. Volleyball, cheerleading, junior cheerleading camp, and volunteering at the Hudson Rod and Gun Club are some of Christine's school and civic activities. She works part-time at the Rod and Gun Club and at the Stillwater Dairy Queen. And there's also time to do a little babysitting in there. Christine likes to rollerblade, listen to all types of music, meditate, read, bike, run, swim, and take long walks in the woods. She plans on attending college for psychology and hopefully becoming a psychiatrist or a criminologist.
Hi, my name is Kristen Jones. My parents are Jeff and Andrea Jones, and I'm sponsored by the Hudson Rod Gun and Archery Club.
Next, we have Alicia Senate. Alicia is involved in girls tennis, girls hockey, and has been in the school band for the last 4 years. She's also been a class officer for the last 2 years, being very active in her youth programs at church also. And this past summer, she went to the National Youth Gathering in San Antonio, Texas. She's a lifeguard and teaches swimming at the Hudson YMCA. During the summer, she's a camp counselor at the YMCA's Summer Fun Camp for preschool children. Her interests or hobbies are downhill skiing, water skiing, rollerblading, and golf. In addition, she enjoys playing the piano. Alicia plans on attending college to major in park and recreation management.
Hi, my name is Alicia Senate. My parents are Marshall and Bobby, and I'm sponsored by Century 21.
Next is Elena Stanek. Elena plays volleyball and basketball and plays the clarinet in the high school wind ensemble and the high school marching band. She is a cashier at the Freedom Station in Hudson. Freehand painting and drawing, working out at the YMCA, and her dog Logan are some of her interests and hobbies. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year college for possible areas in graphic design, certified public accountant, or history, but her immediate plans are to get her braces off this fall.
Hi, my name is Elena Stanek. My parents are Pam and Tom Stanek, and I'm proudly sponsored by Randy Eiten Chevrolet.
Next up, we have Jenny Groom. Jenny's on the high school tennis, basketball, and soccer team. She's also a student instructor at Dave Johnson Basketball Camp. Jenny also is a volunteer at the Methodist Church Bible Camp and participated in the Blackfeet Reservation Work Camp in Montana. She works at St. Croix Diversified, Lakefront Beach, and the Hudson Dairy Queen. Jenny's interests are basketball, playing the piano, hanging out with her friends. And after high school, Jenny would like to attend a university and hopefully qualify to play on their basketball team. Her major is yet undecided.
Hi, my name is Jenny Groom. My parents are Ed and Linda Groom, and I'm sponsored by Dave Holt Ford.
Next is Angie Patterson. Angie is a member of the wind ensemble band at the high school, color guard, rifle captain in the marching band in the 1996-97 raid years for fall and winter season sports. She loves kids, babysitting, and dancing are some of her interests and hobbies. Her future plans are to go on to high school and either become a psychologist or an orthodontist. Her other goal is to own a new black Ford Mustang.
Hi, my name is Angie Patterson. My parents are Dale and Peggy Patterson, and I'm sponsored by Mama Maria's Italian Restaurant.
Next up, we have Amy Wolf. This year, Amy will be a varsity cheerleader for hockey, football. She's also in peer helper, swing choir, concert choir, Zenith, and the Heaven Bound Church Choir. Babysitting is Amy's part-time job. Amy's interests are rollerblading, singing and dancing, and doing a lot of traveling. Amy's future plans are to attend college and major in either mathematics or business, to get a good job, to get married, and have 2 kids and a dog.
Hi, my name is Amy Wolf. My parents are Robert and Mary McClure, and my sponsor is Kelly Frame and Fine Art Gallery.
Next is Angela Stefan. Angela was the cheerleading captain at the JV fall and winter squad. She also is involved in the youth group at church and has attended the Habitat for Humanity workshop in Colorado and Montana. She also has been dancing at the Larkin Dance Studio in Maplewood for the last 7 years. At times, she babysits for her part-time work. She enjoys dancing, writing, skiing, shopping, painting, and being with friends and family. Traveling and going on to college to study journalism and design are in her future.
Hi, my name is Angela Stefan. My parents are Gary and Cindy, and my sponsor is Lavender and Lace.
Next up, we have Kristin Aquatune. Belonging to SAD and the school newspaper, cheerleader for basketball, color guard for the marching band, captain for the flag squad this year, tennis, and participating in Mishpack, a 2-week mission work, and backpacking trip kept Krista busy. She is also a cashier at More 4. Krista's main interests are tennis and flags. She also likes to do mission work, backpack, bike, and rollerblade. Krista would like to major in math or science in college and go on to either medicine, oceanography, astronomy, or engineering.
Hi, my name is Krista Atune. My parents are Dale Atune and Kate Rolfe, and I'm proud to be sponsored by First National Bank.
Next up is Meghan Milky. The most memorable activity Meghan was involved with was coaching the girls' U10 traveling soccer team last summer. It was a very positive and challenging experience for her. Meghan currently works at Mr. Movies and babysits children in the neighborhood. She enjoys taking piano lessons, winter skiing, and swimming. Going on to college to become a doctor and traveling are in her future.
Hi, my name's Meghan Milky. My parents are Earl and Nancy, and I'm proudly sponsored by Deal's Quality Water.
Next up is Lisa Baumann. Lisa will be on the radars for the fall and winter season this year. She's also been dancing at the Larkin Dance Studio for the past 8 years. She is currently working at Domino's Pizza, answering the telephones and taking orders. In her free time, Lisa loves to go out and be with her friends and go dancing. She also enjoys rollerblading, biking, and being around children. Lisa is very interested in cosmetology and counseling and plans on making a career out of one of them. She enjoys being around people and helping them with their problems.
Hi, my name's Lisa Bonneman. My parents are Steve and Michelle Bonneman, and I'm sponsored by Questa Radio.
Next is Danielle Ray. Danielle is currently involved in many church and youth group activities. She's also involved in the 4-H for the last 6 years. Dancing, reading, auto racing, gymnastics, and spending time with her friends is something that keeps Danielle busy. Danielle also plans on going to Oklahoma State and majoring in cosmetology after graduating from Hudson High.
Hi, my name is Danielle Ray. My parents are David and Nancy Ray, and I'm proudly sponsored by Four Season Builders Construction.
Next up, we have Amber Rummel. The debate and forensic teams co-chair for the 1996 Hudson High School homecoming events, and school and church choirs keep her very busy. Amber is currently working at Play It Again Sports and Abe's studio. Biking, reading, acrylic painting, making crafts, and clothing are among some of Amber's interests and hobbies. Amber plans on attending a 4-year college, but is undecided at this time. She's thinking of going into chiropractic or therapeutic massage or in the social services area.
Hi, my name is Amber Brummel. My parents are David and Sandra Brummel, and I'm sponsored by AV Studio.
Next is Kerry Ann Marshall. Kerry was involved in the school choir. The last 2 years she's been a volunteer as an official at the Odyssey of the Mind regional and state competition. The 3 years prior to this, she was a team member. She attended the Premier School of Modeling and Self-Improvement during the summer of 1995 and is pursuing a career in modeling, rollerblading, bike riding with her family, camping, listening and performing music, and making people laugh keep Kerry busy. After graduating, Kerry plans on going to college to study nutrition. She would like a career in the healthcare.
Hi, my name is Kerry Ann Marshall. My mother is Sherry Marshall, and I'm sponsored by Berard Portrait Design.
And last but not least, we have Karen Sorensen. Karen is currently the captain of the Ray Dare dance line, wrestling cheerleader, and a member of Choraleers at school. She's also in the St. Patrick's Youth Choir and began tutoring math students this past year. She's employed part-time at the Phipps Inn Bed and Breakfast, where she cleans, gives tours, answers phones, makes reservations, and checks in guests. Her interests are basketball, volleyball, listening to music, and dancing with friends, taking long walks, sitting outside watching the sunsets. And she also went on a church mission trip to Kentucky this past summer and on a 3-week trip to Western Africa to help people who are plagued by disease and malnutrition. In the future, Karen is planning on attending college at St. Benedict's University and majoring in business and accounting.
Hi, my name is Karen Sorensen. My mom is Darlene Sorensen, and my sponsor is First Federal Savings Bank of La Crosse.
Let's have a hand for all our candidates. This morning and early afternoon, they met with the judges and were interviewed. And out of that interview now and the other procedures, now we're going to select 10 semifinalists.
Envelope, please. Accepting bribes right now.
Okay, I have a list of 10 finalists. They're in no particular order. Lisa Bonneman. Karen Sorensen. Jenny Groom. Kimberly Tritt. Stacy Harrelson. Kristin Aquatune, Andrea Leverty, Rummel, Angie Patterson, and Kristin Jones.
Let's have a hand for the rest of the candidates.
Now for the fun part. These girls are going to be asked an impromptu question. You girls are going to read it to yourself, then give it to me, and then I'll read it out loud to the people here. Who wants to go first?
Okay.
All right, that's it. What is the first thing that you think of when you wake up in the morning?
Hi, my name is Lisa Baumann, and the first thing I would think of if I woke up in the morning was putting my makeup right on.
Who wants to go next? If one of your best friends was on court with you and she violated the rules of conduct, would you report her to the Pepperfest board?
I'm Karen Sorensen, and if one of my best friends violated the rules on Pepperfest court, I would have to say that I probably wouldn't, just because I believe what's meant to be will happen, and if it was meant for her to be queen, then it would be.
A good one. Quick one. A real easy one. What is your favorite season?
Hi, my name is Rummel, and my favorite season is autumn because of the glorious colors of the fall.
Oh, I was wondering who was going to get this one. How would you describe Pepper Festival to a space alien that has just landed on Earth?
Hi, I'm Kristin Aquatune, and if I had to describe it to a space alien, I would say that it's first based on tradition, and then it's food, fun, and games. Thanks.
Just love watching their expressions. Where do you go when you like to be alone?
Hi, I'm Angie Patterson, and when I like to be alone, I go into my room and I listen to the radio because that really calms my nerves and it just puts me in a different world, and I love just being by myself there.
Give you some extra time to think about it. What is your favorite time in history?
Hi, my name is Jenny Groom, and I think my favorite time in history would be the Renaissance year or time because I like knights and fighting and armor and everything.
What is your favorite animal?
Well, I think my favorite animal would have to be a fish because, I don't know, they swim around all day and they just look so happy.
If you could change anything in the world today, what would it be?
Hi, my name is Kim Tritt, and if I could change anything in the world, I would stop wars because it's pointless to just kill people.
What is your favorite color?
Hi, my name is Andrea Leverty, and I would have to say my favorite color is blue, just because it's pretty and bright.
What makes you blush?
Well, my name is Stacy Haraldson, and being up here right now makes me blush the most. But also when I'm embarrassed or when I do something really dumb.
All right, now the judges are going to excuse themselves and go and make their decision, but first we'd like to have them come up, introduce themselves, and give us a little criteria on their decisions, how they arrive at it.
We asked the girls about their most embarrassing moment. This probably will end up being mine. Before I get started, I'd like to just thank the community for the opportunity of meeting 23 beautiful young ladies. I don't know, there are a number of young ladies sitting down in front of us and also here on the stage, and I've always enjoyed coming to the pageant. One of the young ladies asked us why we judge pageants. And we explained that the reason that we judge pageants is that I work in the police department and I see the other side of the teenagers and young people today. And this gives us an opportunity of seeing some really nice young people and also meeting some people who are concentrating on their studies instead of concentrating on shooting each other. So I really enjoy judging for that reason. I was asked to tell the criteria that we use in judging. What we do is we have a big pot and we throw all the names in, and then we reach in and take one out, and that's how we select the people. And I'm sure there's some parents out here that think that that's what we do, but really our criteria is based on a lot of experience. First off, we've been involved in pageants for a number of years. I started back in the early 60s with the Miss Minnesota program, and it's really difficult to sit here and try to select people. I think it's much like trying to select employees, and we look at the young people as if we are going to hire them, and we ask them questions about their background and so forth, and that's basically how we select people. I've been asked to introduce the other judges, and I'll start off with Suzanne K Waters. Suzanne, many of you know, she currently resides in Inver Grove Heights and is an employee of the West Publishing Company. Her background includes previous experience judging queen pageants, 10 years of modeling. She was a candidate coordinator for the Miss Purdue pageant. Purdue, where's Purdue? It isn't known in Wisconsin, and I'm a graduate of Minnesota, so I've never heard of it either. And she was a member of the Royalty Court, which represented her hometown in Indiana. Suzanne, would you mind standing, please? The next judge is Marlo Mccready, and she's from Coon Rapids. She has judged the Minneapolis Aquatennial and the Miss Minnesota preliminaries, and also has judged in Wisconsin. Well, we're here right now. Carol and Marlo are the coordinators of the Minneapolis Aquatennial Midwest Queen program. Carol is also involved in the Mrs. Minnesota pageant. Carol and Marlo have 5 children and 6 grandchildren. She is the assistant to the president and CEO of SEMA Labs. Carol enjoys traveling, meeting new people, reading and collecting books, playing tennis and working out, and she also enjoys being married to me, because I'm Marlo. Carol? And my name is Marlo Mccready, and I'm from Coon Rapids too, and that makes it very fortunate, because my wife is from Coon Rapids and so am I. He has been active in the Minneapolis Aquatennial, the Mrs. Minnesota pageant, and the Miss Minnesota pageant. His civic involvements include serving as a Coon Rapids Police Reserve Chief. He also has served as the chairman of the Human Services Commission and is president of the Chamber of Commerce, or has been president of the Chamber of Commerce. Marlo judges many different pageants each year and has served as state and local judge. I think they're coming for me, I don't know. He is self-employed in the areas of appraisal and tax accounting. He enjoys playing tennis and reading. Now, before I walk off the stage, there's one other thing that I'd like to say, if I might. We must have a fire going or something. Either that or they are still looking for me. I can say this because I'm not from your community, and I can get away with it, and I'm going to say it. People do not realize how many hours these young ladies put into representing your community and the many other communities that are represented here. And I, as a judge, know how many hours are put in and what it costs the city in order to have these young ladies involved in the program. And I think that the communities owe these young ladies a great deal more than they'll ever receive. So I just like to say, the 4 young ladies that are in front of you and the other royalty have done an exceedingly great job. You deserve all the plaudits that you get for representing your community, and I think you deserve another hand. And I don't know if you noticed it, but when I came up here, the wind died down, but when Dan came over to the microphone, it picked up. So we'll let the hot air start again. Dan?
Now we'd like to ask our 10 finalists to exit the stage this way, and at this time we'd like to have the current royalty please make another entrance at the stage.
I'm sure they had a wonderful year, and they've asked that they'd like to share some of their experiences with us now and to say their goodbyes before they give up their courtship. So, are you first? Okay. Here's King Mike.
You know, my teachers in high school and college always told me if I ever get nervous for a speech to always imagine the crowd in their underwear, so I figured I'd join you. On August 20th of last year, when I was selected to be next king representing North Hudson, I really didn't know what to expect. I hope the wind doesn't blow too much. Our first parade was just 5 days later in Cumberland. As we started down the parade route, some members of the court practically threw themselves off the float because of some bees. At that point, I could have said, he's trying to figure out what I got myself into. And from what I've been shared with my court, the court has the same feelings. Specifically, my court has admitted that when they first met me, they were concerned that I was going to be a boring king. I think Amber started that one. But from what you see before you and from what you see in the pictures in the main Pepperfest program, I hope I prove them wrong. During our year, Allie, Michelle, and Amber, and Andrea took on as their special assignment to borrow plastic balls from various Hardee's around Wisconsin and Minnesota in those playlands. Well, Dan, it is your new court's assignment to return these plastic balls to their appropriate locations. I've got one for you up here that you can start with. I think the location was somewhere between Rochester and Balsam Lake. We had a lot of interesting moments during our reign. A particular situation sticks in my mind, and I mean really sticks in my mind. We and another royalty court attended the Red Wing Coronation. At about the middle of the program, the queen of this court, who now I have labeled as the Gum Queen, turned around to me and held out her hand requesting me to take something from her. I reached out and took what turned out to be her gum, already chewed. She thought that this was hilarious. I particularly didn't. As she watched, I stuck the gum under my chair. As we approached the end of the pageant, we gave a few standing ovations for the new court. I then sat back down, waiting for my new queen to be announced. I sat with my legs crossed, and when the new queen was announced, everyone stood up, or at least everyone except me stood up. I tried, but while we were standing and sitting, I didn't realize that the gum had carefully placed under my chair had attached itself to the back of my tux pants. As I crossed my leg, I transferred the gum to the front of the other leg. I guess you had to be there. Needless to say, I had gum smeared all over the front, back, and everywhere else of my tux pants. The Gum Queen, and now her court and mine were laughing hysterically, pretty much had to leave. I didn't even like the flavor of the gum. Thank goodness our court had already been introduced at the beginning of the program. Now at the parade, since the Red Wing Coronation, when I see this Gum Queen along the parade route, all she does is stretch out her gum in her mouth and look at me and smile. The Gum Queen will remain anonymous, at least for a while. All in all, being a Pepper King has been an experience I will never forget. From Andrea, almost suffocating while trying on an air pack at the fire department, which is a story too long to tell. To Amber and Michelle's snorts when they laugh. To my Queen Allie slamming down a half-pound of spaghetti in 9 seconds, helping this court to win the Royal Spaghetti Eating Contest. Thank you. I will cherish the memories and always remember the friends I made along the way. Thank you to Steve and Sally Dunn for driving their Corvette at the Roseville Parade for Amber and I. Thank you to Jeff DeBruzzi for driving the Hudson fire truck at our Prescott Parade. A special thanks to Diane Alberg, Cindy St. Ors, and Jean Schneider for the royalty brunch they put on yesterday. To Ed Alberg and Joe Alberg for driving the vans yesterday for the parades. Thank you to Gary Zappa for allowing us to use his business garage for working on the Pepperfest float in those cold winter days. I want to take a time to thank the parents of my court for making this year a past success. We could have not done it with all your help and support. Thank you to Sue Palenti for making the vest I have on today. I also want to thank Susie Nelson for washing my laundry after finding various articles of clothing, some too personal to mention, in the back of their van after parades, especially getting the gum out of my tux pants. A special thanks to my wife Kristin for being so supportive during the past year. Lastly, I want to wish good luck to all the finalists and good luck to this year's king, which I now know is Dan. I hope you have as good and exciting years as we did. And to everyone, a big thank you from the quote, unquote, boring king. Thank you.
It's down. How do you put it down? Oh, sure. Hi, I just want to say thank you, first of all, for letting me represent North Hudson. And I want to say thank you to my my sponsor, which is First Federal Bank of La Crosse. And I want to say thank you to Plaza Cafe for working around all my busy schedule. And I want to thank Dave Holt for letting us use all the nice trucks. I want to thank Matt Miller for letting us use his truck and pulling me and Michelle in the Nourishment Parade. There you go, they're over there. Let's see. I want to thank the fire department for letting us use their fire truck to ride on. I want to thank Ruth Spencer for making the dresses. Nice. Okay. First of all, I'm going to start out with Mike. When I first saw Mike, as usual, like he said before, I thought he was going to be boring because he was just standing there, just standing there doing nothing. I'm like, oh gosh, we're going to have a boring king, but soon that stopped because by the end of the night, he was just a blast, and I'm so glad that he's our king. And I have so many good memories of him, all his dance moves. Come on. There you go. And all the ways he can say my name. Ambra, Ambrie, Ambra, I already said that. Every name imaginable he could call me. That's about all for Mike so far. Thank you, Mike. And next I want to start with Michelle. Michelle, also known as my little princess. She always knew how to brighten things up with her sweet little voice. I'm gonna cry. Uh-oh. Excuse me. And also, if I needed anything, like how to put on my dress, squished in the back of Nelson's and Palenti's van, or else Becky's Explorer, she'd always have to help me dress. You go like this, and I could never figure it out, and they all had to help dress me, practically. I'm going to miss all the little talks we had before and after the parades. I'm going to miss you, Michelle. And Andrea. Andrea was the kind of person that knew how to get everywhere, to get to parades, to coronations, but somehow she could never get anywhere on time. Never. Okay. She said she was on twice this weekend, but she wasn't really. Yeah, I was. But then finally when she did get here, wherever we needed to be on time, we all had a great time. and Allie. Allie, I think, was the best queen. At first, we all were kind of wondering how it was going to be because none of us were friends at all. We were all from different groups, and it was just kind of strange at first. But whenever something was too embarrassing for the rest of us to do, Allie was always willing to do it. No matter how embarrassing it was to anyone, she'd be, oh, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. And I'll never forget when we went shopping for fall outfits, which lasted days and days and days. We could not find anything for us. When we went to McDonald's and ate. Allie, in her usual Coke that she has to drink to everything, somehow she started to laugh, we all started to laugh, and it came out her nose yellow. We don't know how it did from brown to yellow, we'll never know. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to Becky. I could never have done it without you, bringing us to all the coronations and all the parades. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for all of you guys to come out today. It's really nice to see all your faces smiling at us. Doesn't make us that nervous. I'd like to start out by apologizing for a few things. First, my speech. I wrote it earlier today. Not just because I'm a procrastinator, but because I knew that after I'd written my speech, our year would definitely be over. So the speech is not really polished or perfected, but it comes from the heart, and I think that's the most important thing. I'd also like to apologize to any visiting royalty whose tea we did not attend. I'm not exactly on time for everything. So sorry. I'd like to thank everyone for anything and everything that they have done to make our year so great. Thanks to my sponsor from last year, Mudge Porter Lendane and Seguin, you gave me this opportunity and also gave me a mouthful to say every time I had to introduce myself as a candidate. Thanks to my work, County Market, for working around my crazy schedule. Thanks to Hudson High School Marching Band, Mr. Tank and Mr. Rainier. You were very understanding about me making court and having to miss parades and or jumping in the band in the middle of the parade after getting off of the float. Also thanks to all my flag squad. I don't know if any of them are here. You made being captain so easy. I knew you had everything under control. More thanks go out to all of the candidates who made our summer, gotta turn the page, even more enjoyable. I'd like to thank Becky for all that you've done. There really aren't words to describe how much she does for us. It's just, we show up there. She plans everything to get us there. And as hard as she could, she really couldn't make me on time. Also thank you to Rita and Kathy for putting all the candidates together. You did a great job. A very special thank you to Kristin Aquatune. You're my best friend. Thanks for putting up with me with flags and Pepperfest. Thanks also goes out to all of our royal families, especially my mom, dad, and sister Christy. You guys were there for me and I love you for it. Now on to the embarrassing stuff for them. Michelle. Michelle was always Little Michelle for a very, very obvious reason. At our first parade, Cumberland, Michelle wore this pink dress. And although we wouldn't admit it to her face, she didn't look very old in it, let's just say. I'm gonna laugh a lot, I'm sorry. I'm surprised that no one thought she was a junior princess. Michelle was always willing to go a little out of control except when it came to food. She won't try anything new. We went to the China buffet, me and Allie and her and Becky, and there was like a billion different things to choose from, and I love Chinese food, but Michelle ate white rice. Nothing but white rice. She wouldn't even try the fried. By my fourth trip back, I finally got her to try some sweet and sour chicken, and she actually liked it. She reminds me of Mikey in the Life commercials. She likes it. She really likes it. Michelle, I got to know you so much this year. I'll never forget your singing at the Red Wing Coronation, your missing leg through the hole in the float, hanging tough, or your and Allie's cheer. Bananas have no lips.
We'll ask them to do that later. Oh, do it now. Come on. Come on. We know some of you guys know this too, so you can help us out, please. This is embarrassing.
Okay. Bananas have no lips. Bananas unite. Whoa. Bananas split. Oh. You peel it to the left, you peel it to the right, you peel it down the middle and take a bite. Go bananas, go, go bananas, go bananas, go, go bananas.
How many times? I don't even want to count how many times I had to hear that. Amber was probably the one that I knew the least when we became princesses together. Amber taught me about a lot of things that I really didn't need to know. But that I heard anyway because they forgot to tell me to plug my ears. Amber has to be the worst backseat driver in the world. She's always checked her blind spot, never failed to inform me if you're going too fast, too slow, turning too fast, not stopping soon enough. Amber got us lost going to St. Croix Central High School for the Hammond Coronation. That's why we were late. It wasn't me.
My fault that time.
Because she thought it was in Baldwin. Which was kind of odd since it was the Hammond Coronation. It always seemed that when we were announced at judges' stands, her name and my name were always screwed up. It was Andrea and Amber Jackson, Andrea and Amber Johnson, Andrea Jackson and Amber Johnson. It was rarely said right. I'll always miss how Amber always said what was on her mind and said the truth, even if it wasn't what she wanted to hear. Mike. Mike was our crazy king. This guy never stopped. He was always jumping off the wall, standing on his head, going on playground equipment, rides, dropping his pants to show off his pepper boxers, going in the dunk tank in Hammond in his tux. But he was a devoted king nonetheless. He went to almost every parade, far more than he was ever supposed to. He always went further than you thought he would, but he kept everyone laughing. Especially on the way back from the Red Wing parade, when he did all this gross stuff with Tootsie Rolls and straw wrappers. Just ask to see the pictures. Mike also got us an unbelievable fire truck to ride on in the Prescott parade. He always did more than he had to, and we love him for it. Mike has a few sayings that he always says. It's like cow poopies and hi puppy or something. That's it. Mike always made me smile, though it isn't that hard of a thing to do. But I'll still miss him for that, and everything else. Hey, Mike, bust a move. Okay, now on to Allie. I'm sorry if this is long, but I cut out a lot, really I did. Allie has her name Allison Palenti on the float, but I can't call her that. It isn't her. Allie may not have been a perfect queen, but we weren't perfect either. One thing Allie was charismatic. In middle school, she told me that it was her goal to have charisma. Well, Allie definitely achieved it. We always made Allie go ask people for directions, and we always made her steal the play balls from Hardee's. She even went into the dunk tank in Hammond in her formal and everything. I don't think she realizes it, but she really helped us mold as a group. She kept us together and always entertained. Allie loved to give out buttons, and more buttons. She was a fanatic. Allie always had an interesting expression on her face. You could never tell what she was planning next. She was like me and always hungry. She loved to shove large amounts of food in her mouth, and we never knew until yesterday if she could swallow it too. Allie, you are a great queen and a role model for next year's queen. Our court had many traditions, including the play balls from Hardee's that we always told. But there was another tradition that anyone sitting by the judges' stand at the Pepperfest parade saw, the Macarena. It actually started at our first parade, Cumberland, and all the way down Hammond, our last away parade, we did the Macarena. I think the crowd thought we were crazy. Amber doesn't like the song anymore. Another crazy thing that happened had to do with our shoes. Amber's mom put her shoes through the washer and the dryer. Nonetheless, they were ruined. My shoes were abducted by aliens and morphed into another dimension. I had to buy new ones. Allie's heel broke off at Baldwin. Her dad fixed it, I don't know how. And Michelle's heel broke yesterday at the parade. I'd recommend next year's court not to get the same shoes. At Cumberland, we asked Becky if we had to wave together, and she told us that we were supposed to wave how it feels natural. So we were always waving to all different sides. But by the end, we started waving together because that was what was natural for us. We were no longer separately a king, queen, or princesses. We were a court, one unit helping out each other and caring for each other. Thanks you guys for all the memories. I'll never forget any of you. Thanks.
Thanks for coming. First, I would like to say it has really been an honor to represent the North Hudson Pepper Festival as a princess. I have so many unforgettable memories, and I have gained so many new friends. I would like to thank my sponsor, Keller Construction, for giving me the opportunity to be a Pepperfest candidate. I'd like to especially thank the Keller family, Steve, Gloria, and Paul, for all the support and all they have done for my family throughout the years. It has been greatly appreciated. Next, I would like to thank Kathy Wente and Rita Nichols for keeping all the candidates organized. I would like to thank my employer, Fashion Bug, for always working around my schedule. I would like to thank all my friends who were there for me and understood my busy schedule. I would also like to thank the visiting royalty, especially the Hudson Court, for all the memories. I would like to thank Matt Miller for driving Amber and I in the Richmond Parade. I'd like to thank the Pepperfest Committee for giving me the opportunity to represent this festival. And then as a group, we would like to thank Dave Holt Ford, the float drivers, the North Hudson Pepper Festival Committee, Ruth Spencer, Fashion Bug, Maurice's, and Baglios, Garfield, and Berard. And now to our parents. I'd like to thank you for all your time, support, and effort and money you put into this year. We never could have made it without you guys. Mr. and Mrs. Jackson were always there to make us all laugh. And Amber said she got to thank you, so I'm supposed to say she loves you. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson were there with the flowers and music. And Mr. and Mrs. Palenti were there to fix something when it went wrong. I would also like to thank all the grandparents who were always there supporting their granddaughters. I would like to especially thank my grandpa, who came to a lot of the parades and helped out with the float. And now to my family, to Jake and Nicole. Thanks for giving up your summer to come to every parade and help out with the float. And Mom and Dad, I could have never made it here without you always there for me and supporting me through everything. You gave up a lot of your time and money for me, and you don't realize how much I really do love you. Thanks for everything. Becky. Becky is the greatest lady. She always had everything ready for us and tried to keep us organized as much as she could. And she tried to always make us be on time. But as hard as she tried, it never seemed to work. We were always late. Thanks for everything, Becky, and you will always be a great friend. And now to my court. At the beginning, we were all a little bit scared and didn't know what to expect. But now we have come together and are great friends. Andrea. Andrea always seemed to have a problem with being on time. If we were leaving at 11, we would tell Andrea to be there at 10. But of course, Andrea wouldn't get there until 11:30. Andrea always said what she thought. I would ask her how something looked, and instead of saying it looked really nice, Andrea would say exactly what she thought. But at least we always looked good then. Thanks for everything this year, Andrea. Amber. Amber and I were float buddies. We'd always talk and laugh on the float, and she always had a fake smile, so she always said, "Michelle, help me smile, say something funny." Or she would knock me over my chair, and I'd sit there upside down with my feet hanging up. And if any of you know how Amber laughs, you know that she snorts her nose. Well, I think I've been with her a little too much, because I think she's got me doing it now. Do you want to demonstrate? Amber and I have become really close, and I'm really going to miss talking with you about almost everything, almost every weekend. Thanks for everything, Amber. Allie. Allie and I didn't really know each other at the beginning, but we sure do now. Allie was always the one to do anything. She was never scared of anything. At different festivals, she would ask for the free rides, and after the River Falls Coronation, our court and the Hudson court went to Country Kitchen. We all dared Allie to eat 3 spoonfuls of like gravy and ketchup and soup. Everything that was left over on our plates, we had mixed into a bowl. Well, Allie did it. But instead of taking 3 spoonfuls, she took more like 5. The people in the seats around us were going, "You're really going to eat that?" And she goes, "Yeah." And then they got up and left because they couldn't even watch her eat it. Thanks for all the great memories, Allie, and you're a great queen, and always remember that you're cool. King Mike. At first, Amber and I thought he was going to be a boring king, but as you've seen and as you've heard, he was far from that. I think the first crazy thing he did was get out of the car when we were at a stoplight and start dancing in the middle of the road. From then on, he seemed to do at least one stupid or crazy thing at every parade. His favorite thing to do, though, was to always show everyone his underwear and then do his little dance with his pants at his ankles. He has become like a 4th child in our family, and I know we'll be friends forever. But I'm going to miss all the wild and crazy things he always seems to do. Thanks for everything. I'd like to thank all of you for making this such a great year and for all the memories.
Okay, well, I have a confession to make. Do you guys remember how Andrea said that once she wrote her speech, she knew the year was over? Well, the year's not really over for me yet, because I haven't written a speech yet. So, we're in this together, okay? First of all, I'd like to thank the North Hudson Pepper Festival. This has been one of the most tremendous years I've ever had in my entire life. And without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. I'd like to thank last year's candidates and the judges for the wonderful experience that I had. I'd like to thank my family, and especially my sister Terry, for doing everybody's hair. You guys, doesn't Andrea's hair look absolutely beautiful? My sister's like an artist. I'd like to thank all the other royal families. Jacksons, you guys always cheered me up with food and jokes, and where's Karen? Fart face. And Johnsons, I've known you guys forever. I mean, we've been family for a long, long time. So I'd like to thank you guys for being there with us, and it's just been terrific. And Nelsons, I like live at your house now. I'd like to thank you, especially Mrs. Nelson, for being there for me when I need you, and well, you guys are all terrific. Anyways, I'd also like to thank my sponsor from last year, Hollenbach Photography, for getting the signs for my stuff and paying for everything. You guys were great. I'd like to... I forgot what I was going to say now. Okay. Anyways, I'd like to thank my 2 employers, Burger King and Taco Bell. Without you guys, I would be even more broke, and I'd have like less of an appetite or something. But Becky, you're the best. We've had such a great time, and Becky really did keep us going, especially like towards the middle of the winter, and I was just like, blah, blah, blah. Becky would be like, come on, this is fun, keep going. And Becky, without you, I just couldn't have done it the way we did it. So thank you so much. And, well, let's talk about the court. First of all, Mike. Mike's a pretty wild guy, and when we all first met, to tell you the truth, I was scared of everybody. I was absolutely petrified. I was shaking because they were all so scary. But Friday we all went out to lunch, kind of as closure for the weekend, and Mike turns to me and he goes, you know, after everything we've been through, I think I actually like you. And I went, oh, well, to tell you the truth, I don't know if I like you yet. But I was lying. Mike, you're great. You really keep us going and laughing. And, you know, I'm just making this up. So, thanks for always dancing and keeping us going, getting us places. Michelle, you know everything about me, don't you? Poor Michelle, she always has to listen to me when I'm down, or she's just always been there. Michelle, you're the best. And one thing I'll never forget is our conversation about coolness. See, because in truth, Michelle's really cool and I'm not. But she always tells me, yeah, you're cool, come on. So, Michelle, thanks a lot. And, Andrew, I'm going to skip you for a while. Uh-oh. Amber was the person when we first started that I was the most afraid of. Because before Pepperfest, I don't think Amber and I have ever talked before in our lives, and we're totally, I thought at least, we were totally different, but I was sure wrong. Amber, you've been terrific. Amber was always the one to keep me in line when I was going to do something too stupid that everybody else told me to do. She'd be like, Allie, don't do that. So sometimes I just didn't do things because of Amber. Thanks. And well, no, Andrea. Andrea and I have known each other forever. We're like sisters, we talk like sisters, we fight like sisters. And well, Andrea, I feel really bad about your shoes. Because see what happened was we were on our way back from cheerleading camp? We were going to cheerleading camp. And everybody changed it at my house because we were carpooling on the way down. And what happened was that everything got left at my house, and somehow in the middle, Andrea's shoes got abducted by aliens, you know the story. So, anyways, I fought with her tooth and nail on the fact that I didn't lose her shoes. Because I searched everywhere, my closet, and Andrea, I'm sorry, they're just in the third dimension. I can't help it. So I got you a little gift to make up for it, because I know it's probably my fault. Yeah, I do. I have a surprise for Andrea. Her shoes weren't abducted by aliens, they were abducted by my closet. So, you guys, well, I guess that's all I can think to say. So thank you very much. Oh, Jenny Johnson, you have been so terrific to me. Always like having advice and just like being there when I needed you, and I'm gonna cry now. And I'd also like to thank the Hudson Court for all the memories that we've made and kind of telling me when I was a little out of line with my immaturity. And I'd also like to thank the visiting royalty, Miss Glenwood Crystal Lockheed, for all the fun we've had. And, well, it's been terrific. Thank you very much. I forgot something. We have some presents to give out. So I think first of all we'll have all the royal parents come on up. Come on, guys.
Cheers, Dave.
Ed? Hey, Ed, where are you? Are you at the food booth? Ed? Earth Dad? Come here. I'd like to introduce the escorts. My name's Dave Palenti. I was the father of the Queen. Ed Nelson, Richard Jackson, and Dave Johnson. We had a real great time this year, and it was a pleasure, girls, having us escort the kids up, the other candidates up here. I'd like to thank the girls for that. Yeah, you guys can go up. They want to cut out right away here. You're welcome, Dave. Okay. I want every parent in the audience to really think about things. When your daughter brings something home, or son, read the fine print. 24 parades and about 50 nights of work, but it was worth it. It was a great time. We had a real good time. I want to thank Becky for all the organizational skills she had. Without her, we'd be lost. I'd like to thank Becky's mom, Marcella, for all the gracious hospitality she's given us. I'd like to thank Mike. Mike has been just a perfect gentleman with the girls. We haven't had to worry about anything with Mike around. Now I find out he's dropping his pants. And I'd like to thank the other parents for all the support they've given us. They've been just fantastic to work with. I'd like to thank Dave Holt for the wonderful trucks we've had. All right, Dave, real great trucks. And I'd like to thank Zappa Brothers for yelling through the garage. Repairs. Talking about repairs. Being a Pepperfest dad, you learn how to repair things. Like putting a cement nail in a shoe when the heel's broken and using a lot of glue. Also, how many uses have you got for fish line? Works great on the crown. Fish line and epoxy glue. Put the combs right back on there, no problem. And the girls are talking about Terry doing the hair. Terry does great hair, but nobody cleans up the hairspray. All the girls come in the morning and they do their hair, and after I take my shower, I get out and goes crunch, crunch. I'm sticking to the floor. It's just like varnish, liquid varnish in that house. It's great. Food. One of the things about being a Pepper parent is food. As soon as the cover's down on the float, Ed Nelson's going. Boom, like a bat, just right away, he's gone. Allie, I do feed Allie. Contrary to popular opinion, I know she eats spaghetti awful fast. We do have food in the house. Nobody, you know. Food, another thing about food, the parents all had wonderful treats all the time. I can't thank you guys for so much weight I put on. I'm about 10 pounds heavier now. It's great. Fun. We're fun. Being a Pepper parent's a lot of fun, especially for the girls. First thing they do, they get off the float and let's go find the free rides and how many times can we do it? How many rides can we get? Dancing. These girls danced the storm up. It was great watching them. And if you're looking for fun, you follow the Vulcans. They knew where all the fun was. That's one of the first things we learned. And another fun thing was spending the Pepperfest money. They're not as tight as you think they are. You have to try to pry them a little bit, but we'd beg. Oh yeah, you can have a new inverter. It was great. And a great thing about is being the community spirit. People recognized us as we went through these parades. Pepperfest, yeah! We're coming, when is it? It was fun, it was really great. A lot of people go, oh, I've done that. We're gonna do it. It was fun, it was a lot of fun. Parents, being a parent is a great thing. You get to wear a t-shirt, a headband, goofy little buttons, and just make a complete idiot out of yourself sometime in front of your kids. Who cares? Dedication. I can't talk more about the dedication of the other parents. Dave and Tammy postponed their fishing trip today just to be here. Dick and Karen came from a car show where they could be having fun just to help set up the float. Now that's dedication. Ed and Susie gave up that wonderful pool they got in their backyard and let us use the garage a lot. And myself, I had to postpone one vacation, but we took another. We had to drag Allie tooth and nails up north to go just get away from Pepperfest for a few days. And thank you. I know you guys all want me to cut it short, so we're going to do that right now. Thank everybody, and thank you, Pepperfest, for letting me have this wonderful opportunity.
Okay, we have a couple more things to give out, and these go to Mike. Mike, we're gonna get ya. Okay, first of all, when we went to all the different teas, Mike was kind of like the connoisseur of punch. He really did not like the punch. We went to Osceola and they had this really cool green punch with like sherbet lumps. He's like, it's lumpy, it's hairy, I can't drink that. And everywhere we went, he had a complaint about the punch. So Mike, we got you some punch that would last, so you can remember our year always.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Okay, another thing is that Mike never once took a picture. Our whole year together, he would not take a picture. And about a week ago, he decided, I want everyone's nakedness. I want everyone's nakedness. I need pictures. But it was already too late because, Mike, we made you a scrapbook so you can remember the year. So there you go. Stay up here, guys. Don't move.
We need to make a couple presentations here. The outgoing court each year is presented with a picture of the court, and that's sponsored by Berard's Portrait Design in Hudson. Each of the members here gets a free copy. And then we also would like to present a plaque to Mike from the Pepperfest Committee for serving as the Pepper King, for his dedication and time and effort. And now I see that the judges came back, so we'll get going as everyone is patiently waiting. Oh, first we have two more, sorry. I forgot that here.
Just a few more short things here. All summer long, these girls have been very busy. The candidates have been very busy setting up a style show they had in July, and then they had to sell tickets for that. They also had a banner making contest. We have 2 awards for that right now. For the most fashion show tickets sold was Andrea Leverty, with 15 of them. Andrea, can you please come up here? Congratulations. And this is the winning banner, done by Krista Withhoon. Krista, if you could please come up here. And now, at this time, I'd like to have the 10 finalists make their way back up here to the front stage, and we'll get on with the show.
Before we get that, I'd like to introduce the visiting royalty that's here. First off is the 1995 Miss Star Prairie Shannon Stefan. Hope I don't torture a lot of these names. If you could stand. Is she here? Way in the back. Next is the Minnesota National Preteen Petite Princess from North Hudson, Christian Marie Casa de Calvo. If you could stand. From River Falls, Miss River Falls Heather Andine. First Princess Becky Swain. Second Princess Jenny Larson. Miss Congeniality Sandy Holter. We have Kim Benoit here, the 1988-89 Princess. Past royalty Melanie Tim Winty, Princess 1989. 1993-94 Princess Marie Salzman. 1995 Pepper Festival Queen Jenny Johnson. Princesses Cindy Fernholz, Barb Nickham, Michelle Kinney. 1988 Pepper Princess Barb Behrens. Miss New Richmond Tammy Fox. Second Princess Lindsay Ball. Miss Congeniality Jenny Campo. First Princess Melissa Bolt from Miss Hudson. Second Princess Ann Sheffen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gum Queen, Miss Hudson, Andrea Egan. I think I did these. Northeast Metro Royalty, representing the communities of Northern Anoka County, Queen Bonnie Schneiderich. Princess Alicia Brown. Princess Sonia Dickover. Queen of the Northland, Diane Winkler. Prince of the Four Winds, Jerry Croft. And the St. Paul Winter Carnival Senior Royalty. Pepperfest Queen, 1976-77, Jill Johnson. Hammond, Miss Congeniality, Tricia DiNucci. Third Princess, Jen Rudisell. Second Princess, Stacy Bailey. First Princess, Sharon Larson. And Queen, Britta Larson. And did I miss anyone? Did I? Oh, that's it. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Now, I would like to call some people up here, extend this a little bit longer, since nobody has to work tomorrow, do they? My wife Mary and I held the first annual King alumni party from noon to 3 today, and since they kind of forget about the Kings, so we had our own party, and it's going to be an annual thing from here on out. But I have the 6-foot by 4-foot diameter pepper in my driveway right now, painted green, which will be handed down to the oncoming king, so he'll have to deal with it. But anyways, if I could ask some of these kings to come up here who are here just to see what they look like now. Come on up here if you are here. Any past kings, please come forward. Going once, going. Dave and Don. Here come some of our younger kings here. Dewey. Don Zappa, Dave Holt, and Dewey Swanson making his way down the runway right now. Tony Zappa is also a king, so, and Gary Zappa, so. Other than that, I think we are ready to go. One note here. He had you guys a chance in the sun. One note to the royalty that's going to be crowned. You need to meet in the village hall shortly after you are crowned for a special meeting. And people, we ask you not to crowd the stage at the end so they can get out of here and get on with their festivities. So at this time, I think we're going to ask for the envelope and get rolling.
The judges also have selected 2 alternates. In the first envelope shall remain sealed, and the judges have listed in order the 3 princesses and the 2 alternates. If for any reason the royalty members should give up her reign, the envelope will be opened by the Pepperfest Executive Board, and the royalty will move up according to the contents. Now, let's continue. The moment is here.
Okay, if I could have a princess come forward.
Not nervous?
These guys don't even look nervous. All I hear is knees crackling. Okay, make the walk.
Go, Amber.
Just I didn't see it.
Stacy Harrelson. Okay, if we could have another current princess please come forward, or behind. Would you Krista Bethune.
Kimberly Tritt. And can we have the Queen? Suspense.
Yeah, right.
Karen Sorensen.
You better clean it out.
Yeah, really. I'd like to present to you the 1997 North Hudson Pepperfest royalty. I want to thank everyone for coming. Please stay around and enjoy some good Italian food. Thank you to the judges and to the Pepperfest committee, and thank you for coming.
Producing programming with you in mind. You're watching Community Access Television, Channel 10, serving Hudson, North Hudson.